Dear student, welcome to all of you in my online maths video class. In this video class, we will start the new book, the volume 2 of mathematics, and the first chapter of the volume 2 is straight line. This is the chapter 11, but the first chapter of the second volume book, straight lines. Before starting the straight line, let us try to understand the basic concept of the coordinate geometry. Coordinate geometry. Okay, dear student, I also prepare one video for class 10 about the basic concept of the coordinate geometry. I will share in your group also, and I think if you watch that video, that will be benefit for you. Here, coordinate geometry. What is the coordinate geometry? Coordinate geometry is the branch of mathematics in which we discuss the geometry with the help of algebra. Okay. The founder of this coordinate geometry was a French philosopher as well as mathematician whose name was René Descartes. He just tried to know the algebraic form of the straight lines, circles, and other. Here, first of all, we should discuss about the coordinate system. If we take a horizontal line, number line, okay, where this is origin 1, 2, minus 1, minus 2, and vertical line like this way, vertical line, this is also number line in the form of number line 0, 1, 2, 3, minus 1, minus 2. Now if we just put vertical line and horizontal line such that the origin, the value O here 0 coincide with each other like this way, coincide with each other, here 1, 2, 3, minus 1, minus 2. In this way, this is the plane which is known as XY plane, is divided in 4 parts and each part is called quadrant. Quadrant. First quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and here fourth quadrant. Okay. Each point of this quadrant is represented by an ordered pair. Okay. In that ordered pair. Just like if I write here any point P here, okay, then and draw a perpendicular line, this PM, and if this is O, then OM, which is, we just consider X, and PM consider as Y, then XY is called the coordinate of point P. Okay, basically X is known as abscissa, and Y is called ordinate. X is called the abscissa and Y is called the ordinate. Here what is X? This distance, the same distance. It means this is also called distance from Y axis. Okay, and this Y is what? Distance from this distance is Y. This is called distance of point P from X axis, or we can say distance from X axis. Okay, here we just consider X O X dash and here Y O Y dash here x dash ox is called x-axis. Similarly, y dash oy is called y-axis. X-axis and y-axis. Simply x dash ox axis, y dash oy axis are simply called x-axis and y-axis. Okay. Now, here each point represent a coordinate, and here the ordered pair of any point, just like 1 1, ordered pair of any point, here 2 1, is represent a point in this plane, which is called coordinate plane, and this is also known as Cartesian plane. This is also called the rectangular plane because here x-axis and y-axis intersect at 90 degree. Okay. In this way, here we try to know what is the abscissa, what is ordinate, and the abscissa is known as distance from, abscissa means x coordinate, and x coordinate is what? Distance from y axis. Here x is the distance from y axis and y is the distance from x axis. Dear student, you 100% you are familiar with the distance formula. If we have 2 point A and B, if coordinate is x1 y1 and here the coordinate is x2 y2, then the distance between this point is denoted by small d, and this d is equal to under root x1 minus x2 whole square plus y1 minus y2 whole square. Okay, this is the distance formula. In class 8, 9 it is given. Class 9. Now distance formula, this is called the distance formula. Similarly, we also study in class 10 about the section formula. Section formula. Okay. Here in section formula we discuss two type of section formula. If section formula, first condition, let our line segment AB is divided by a point P in a ratio m:n internally. This is the condition of internally. Here its equation coordinate is x1 y1, its coordinate is x2 y2, and let the coordinate of this point P is xy. Then x is equal to mx1 mx2, not x1, mx2 plus nx1 upon m plus n, and y is equal to my2 plus ny1 upon m plus n. Here P divide line segment AB internally in ratio m into n. It means in section formula we discuss two conditions. The first condition is internally when point P divide AB internally, the situation will be like this way. Then what for the externally? Externally, the line segment AB will be given coordinate x1 y1 and here x2 y2, and there is a point P whose coordinate is xy. Here point P divide line segment AB externally in ratio m:n. How it is? M, this will be m, and this distance will be n. Okay, here x1 y1 for A and x2 y2 for B. P is a point which intersect AB externally. Then x is equal to what? mx2 minus nx1 upon m minus n. mx2 plus nx1 upon m minus n, and y coordinate is equal to my2 minus ny1 upon m minus n. Here you should understand what is the internally and what is externally. Point P, here bisect means divide line segment AB internally, and here point P divide AB externally. The situation of the formula will be different. Here plus plus and here minus minus. Okay. Now in class 10 we also discussed about the centroid of the triangle. Centroid. What is centroid? If we take any triangle in a Cartesian plane, actually coordinate plane is also known as Cartesian plane. Therefore, sometimes we can speak it as coordinate plane as well as Cartesian plane. There should be no problem. Here, if we take any triangle ABC, whose coordinate is x1 y1, x2 y2, and x3 y3, then what is the centroid? If we draw a median here, AD is the median, here E, BE is also the median, and here CF is the median. Then they intersect at this point, that is called a G. Here point G divide AD in the ratio 2:1. Similarly, point G divide BE in ratio 2:1. Then what should be the coordinate of G? XY. By proof we can prove it. Here x is equal to x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3, and y is equal to y1 plus y2 plus y3 by 3. Okay, this is the coordinate of the centroid of the triangle, where x1 y1, x2 y2 and x3 y3 are the coordinate of the vertices of the triangle. Now here we try to know in the center of a triangle. In the center, first of all you should understand what is in center. In center. If we take a triangle, okay, here ABC, what is centroid? The point where median meet, that point is called centroid. But what is in center? If we bisect the angle, any two angle, if we bisect, then this angle and this angle will be equal. Similarly, if we bisect this angle, then the point where they meet, this point is called incenter. Okay, this is called the incenter. It means we can define the incenter, the point of the intersection of any two internal bisector of the angle of a triangle is called incenter of the triangle, which is generally denoted by I. Dear student, here how we find the coordinate of this I? So let the coordinate of the vertices is x1 y1, here x2 y2 and x3 y3 is given. x1 y1, x2 y2, x3 y3 is the coordinate of the vertices is given, and here small a represent length of the side opposite to vertex A, small b represent length of the side opposite to angle B or vertex B we can say, and here small c represent the length of the side AB opposite to vertex C or angle C. It means what is ABC, small a, small b, small c is actually the length of the side of the triangle. Okay, then how we find its coordinate? Coordinate of incenter. Here x is equal to ax1 plus bx2 plus cx3 ax1 plus bx2 plus cx3 upon a plus b plus c, and y is equal to ay1 plus by1 plus by2 plus cy3 upon a plus b plus c. In this way, we can find the inner center, which is different from the centroid. For centroid, only x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3 and y1 plus y2 plus y by 3. There is no relation for the centroid which is related to the length of the side of the triangle. But here in the center, we should use the length of the side of the triangle also. Our x coordinate ax1 plus bx2 plus cx3 upon a plus b plus c, and y coordinate is equal to ay1 plus by2 plus cy3 upon a plus b plus c. Getting? In this way, we can find the in center of the triangle. Now, we should discuss about area of the triangle. Area of the triangle. Area of the triangle. Okay. If we take any triangle, the coordinate of whose vertices is given. Let this is x1 y1. Here x2 y2, and here x3 y3. Then area of triangle ABC is equal to half of, how we write? Here we write x1, then y2 minus y3 plus x2, y3 minus y1, and plus x3, y1 minus y2. Okay? Area of triangle ABC is equal to half of x1, y2 minus y3. It is very easy. You can remember it also. Here x1 given 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay? Then if here 2, then 3, 1. If here 3, then 2, then 1, 2. Like that. Okay? Make an idea so that you can remember it very easily. What is x1, x2 and x3? X coordinate of the vertices of the triangle ABC, and y1, y2, y3 is the y coordinate for the vertices of the triangle. In this way, area of the triangle is equal to half x1, y2 minus y3 plus x2, y3 minus y1 and plus x3, y1 minus y2. In this way, using this formula, we can find area of any triangle, but the vertices of the triangle should be given. Here we can, if three collinear, you know what is collinear? If there are 3 points A, B, C, such that we can draw a line through these 3 points, then we can say that A, B, C are collinear. In class 9, we just learn how to prove the 3 points collinear using distance formula. In class 10, we also discuss how to prove the 3 points collinear using section formula. And after that, using slope also, how we can prove the given points collinear. Similarly, if 3 points are given, then using area, we can prove that the given points are collinear or not. Realistic. If we have 3 points non-collinear, in that case we just make a triangle and it has some area, sure. But if the 3 points are collinear, in that case area will be equal to 0. For collinear, or we can say if 3 points if the 3 points are collinear, then area of triangle ABC is equal to 0. Sure. If they are collinear, then area will be simply 0. Here in this case, what is the area? Its area will be 0. Therefore, we can write that half x1 y2 minus y3 plus x2 y3 minus y1 and plus x3 y1 minus y2 is equal to 0. Okay, or we can write here x1 y2 minus y3 plus x2 y3 minus y1 and plus x3 y1 minus y2 is equal to 0. It means if we have 3 point x1 y1, second point x2 y2 and third point x3 y3, and they satisfy this condition, then we can say that the given point A, B and C are collinear. Okay, so using the formula of the area of the triangle also, we can prove that the given 3 points are collinear or not. If we have some value of this, it means they are not collinear, but if we have some value, it means they are collinear. Now we will discuss about locus of a point. Locus of a point. Locus of a point. First of all, you should understand what is the locus. Simply, locus is the path of the point under given condition. Example, if we have a coordinate axis, y-axis, here x-axis, and we want to find the path of the point P such that its distance from the x-axis is always constant. Let that constant value is b. Then what we do? We just take all the points whose distance from x-axis is constant, means bb. And if we draw, then it will simply represent a line, and which will be parallel to x-axis. Therefore, the locus of the point P, whose distance from x-axis is b, is a straight line. Okay? It means the locus of the point P under the condition that its distance from x-axis is always constant will be in the line which will be parallel to x-axis. Okay? And its equation will be y is equal to b, or we can say y minus b is equal to 0. Okay, here y minus b represent equation of the locus of the point P. Equation of the locus. Okay, or we can say locus of an equation. Here this line, the line represent locus of this equation y minus b is equal to 0, and y minus b represent the equation of the locus of the point P. Try to understand. Okay. Similarly, if we take a line segment AB and we want to find the locus of the point P. We want to find the locus of the point P such that PA is equal to PB. Okay, such that PA is equal to. Try to understand. What is the question? I want to find the locus of the point P, means we want to find the path of the point P, but what is the condition? Its distance from A and B should be always equal. What we do? We just take a point here whose distance from this and this is always equal. Similarly, we take a point here also whose distance this and this is equal. We take any point, distance equal. Here also its distance will be equal, and if it just draw a line by that point, then what we get? We get a line which is perpendicular bisector of the line segment AB. It means the locus of the point P, whose distance from A and B is always constant, always equal, that will be perpendicular bisector of the line segment AB. Getting? Similarly, we can also find locus of the point P, whose distance from a fixed point O is always constant. Means let the value is R. Then what will be the locus? Its locus or path will be in the form of circle. Okay. So this is the locus, and we also able to find the equation of this locus also. Just like the equation of this locus is what? X square plus y square is equal to R square. We will discuss about it in the chapter circle. Similarly, you also know we can find the equation of the line AB. Okay, and with the help of M1 M2 is equal to -1. I think if you remember in class 10, perpendicular bisector of the line segment AB, we can also find the equation of the line this. Okay, so in this way we can find the locus and its equation using this concept. Now this is the total theoretical portion given before exercise 10.1. Okay, here very simple questions are given, but it's my suggestion, before starting the topic you must concentrate about the syllabus also, about the syllabus whatever given for this academic session. Okay, in the next video class we will discuss about the next topic, that is shifting of origin. Okay, shifting of the origin. I will try to provide you the PDF form of the exercise 11.1 also. Thank you.